everyone, and welcome back to Airplane Mode. Today, you guys, as you can see, we're not on my desktop. Well, we kind of are doing a tutorial, but we are not on my desktop installing any plugins. That will come later on next week. The only reason why I'm doing a special request today is because I had a little gap in my planning, and I needed some sort of an idea. And I was going to do a video showing my phobias, or explaining my phobias and stuff like that, but I thought that would be a little bit dumb. But if you guys do want to see that video, definitely go ahead and let me know in the comment section, because I would love to make that for you. But with that, guys, we're going to be doing a video in the IXEG. Somebody requested that I do more videos in the IXEG, and I will not take that, I will take that into account, obviously, and I am going to be doing a concise FMC tutorial for the IXEG 737-300 for X-Plane 11. Now, I know I did already do 2 FMC tutorials on my channel already, but they do super well. And the first one that I made really early on in my channel was I think 10 minutes long ish, so it was really a little bit, I wouldn't say too short, but the second one was 20 something minutes, so it's way too long. So this one I'm going to try to keep it in the 10 to 5 or 5 to 15 minute range. Hopefully keep it a little bit shorter than normal, and yeah, but with that, we're going to go ahead, hop into the flight deck, and we're just going to go ahead and get started with the actual tutorial itself. Wow, that intro was a mess. We're going to move down here, and we're going to go to FMC right there, and position initialization right there. So, to start things off, yeah, I was on the menu, FMC, position initialization. So, just as a quick forewarning, this is just going to be how I program my FMC every time I do a flight, and this will work also for the Zibo 737-800 and 737-900 Ultimate, which I might do some more videos in the future. But with that, we're going to start things off by putting in our ref airport. I think that stands for reference airport, but that's just basically asking for the ICAO code. So we're here at Seattle Tacoma International Airport, which is KSEA, sorry, Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha, right there. And once you type that in, you're just going to go ahead and click right there, and there you go. Now, you could easily pick that up, just click that right there, and you'll see that, and then insert it there. But what we are going to do to make it more realistic is hit next page right there, and collect GPS left right there. Now, previous page, and enter it right there. That's it, and now your plane basically knows where it is. When the IRS is fully aligned and ready to go, you will go ahead and see where you actually are. So with that, you'll see that since this is where your reference airport is, it's going to go ahead and assume that is where you are, because that would make sense. So you're going to want to put this guy right here into the origin section, and there you go. This is your route page, by the way, so if you don't know how to get there, basically here's position initialization. You can either hit that RTE route button right there, or you can just click route right there. That's how I got to it. Now, let's just say we're going to fly to somewhere in California. So let's just say KLAX for Los Angeles. Right there. LAX International Airport. Los Angeles International Airport. Same thing. Put that right there in the destination section, and that is your route. Now, it's going to give you a direct route once this aligns, and if you don't do anything there and it's aligned, you're just going to see a straight line from Seattle to Los Angeles, which sometimes pilots do, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys actually how to do it with the departures and arrivals and all that fun stuff. So with that, your flight number, this is super important if you are in real world. I would not recommend using this tutorial for real world. Definitely do not. This is only for simulation. You probably already got that, but moving on. So this is really important, as I was saying, though, because this is how ATC is going to know your call sign, where you are, all that stuff. So for your airline, you're going to want to put in the codes. So since we're flying Alaska Airlines, it is ASA. You could do AS as well if you're flying Alaska. Otherwise, like American, I know is AAL, United, UAL, Delta, DAL, Southwest, SWA, Allegiant, AAY, I think it is. So you get what I'm saying. If you don't know that, you can, I'm sure, just look it up online and get the same results. But I know that Alaska is ASA, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And let's just make up a flight number 159 right there. And once you've done that, you're just going to go ahead and put it in the flight number section. And that is the route page, basically complete for now. So once I've done that, I'm not going to worry about these guys right here, because once again, I did go over that in a little bit more detail in my most recent, the one that I did, the FMC tutorial that I did before this, so I'm not really going to go into much more detail about that. But what I am going to do to really continue on the tutorial is hit departures and arrivals right there. Once you're there, you're gonna be brought to this page. What you're gonna want to do is go ahead and click departures right there, and that's gonna give you this whole long list of a bunch of SIDs, which is departures, and stars are arrivals, which I will get into later, and then a bunch of runways. So let's just say we're departing out of runway 16 left. That depends on the winds. I already did a little bit of a cover on that in the first and second video ever on my YouTube channel, so if you want a little bit more help on all that stuff, sim brief, all that, go ahead and check out those 2 videos. But with that, we're just going to say we're departing out of runway 16 center. We're going to click that, and it's going to narrow these guys down because obviously it depends, the SID depends on what runway you're departing out of. So since we're departing out of runway 16 center, these are the available SIDs. So let's just say we're taking the Banger 7 departure, and if you can select transition. Sorry guys, I cannot speak today. That will be in your flight plan, your OFP, whatever you decide to generate the flight plan with. And so yeah, we're just going to want to go ahead and select the SID that, you know, belongs to the flight plan, and you're going to select the transition. So let's just say we're departing Banger 7 departure with the Pangle transition, let's just say. Totally random in my head, I just made that up. I do not have an actual flight plan in front of me, but you probably will if you are actually programming this for real. So once you're there, that's basically that. Now you can go, this is something that I rarely will ever do. You can click route or go to route. Regardless, you need to go to the route page for this step. If you click next page, you're going to be brought here. Now what this is going to be basically little airways and things like that. So oh shoot, I don't want to make anything up, but in like insert it, because that might wreck the flight plan. So let's just say we're going to a waypoint called Bonnoj, whatever. Let's just say that you would insert that right there, okay? Then that's going to say direct, and then it will be direct to Bonnoj, okay? And we're just going to go ahead and clear that. And this side, where it says via, under the via section, it's going to be an airway. So in some cases, it's like V563, something like that. You're going to insert that there, and then do your next waypoint. So let's just say GHHI, and you're going to put that right there. So hopefully that explains that enough. I rarely do that step, so I should not be wasting my time on that, especially since we have already been going for 8 minutes. Anyway, we're going to be moving back to the departure arrival section. Arrivals right here, and we're going to select this time. So instead of selecting on a runway first, you're going to want to select a star or arrival first. So let's just say we're going on the Kimo 3 arrival with the PMD transition. That is your arrival already set. Once again, that will be in your flight plan. It's transition, everything like that, runway as well. Once again, runway completely depends on wind, so do not just select a random runway. You might go flying off the runway. Anyway, with that, let's just say we're arriving ILS for runway 24 left. You will have a transition for most runways when you're doing an ILS. I'm not going to do them because I literally never ever do transitions for my ILS arrivals. But with that, if you go to your legs page right there, that's the entire route. You can see it's 4 pages long. Now, this is one of the biggest things. If you have a route discontinuity, to clear that, because you don't want that, what that is going to be like, so you're flying here, right? And then it's going to like have nothing there, and then just continue there. The discontinuity will connect it here, and then like, you know, make it all fluent, everything like that. So you do not want one of these, or else it might screw up your flight. So what we're going to do to clear it is click below the discontinuity, and then click right next to the little boxes, and that's going to completely clear it for you. With that, you can see we have another one, so we're just going to do the same thing. Now, if you're flying with ATC, leave vectors on. I repeat, leave vectors on, because what they're going to do is completely vector you, give you different headings and stuff to fly. But if you're not, and you're just flying for fun with regular LNAV, no ATC whatsoever, I would definitely recommend clearing those, because those are just going to be little things of like 200 nautical miles, and I thought that was a waypoint. Literally, vectors was a waypoint, and I made the mistake because I completely lost fuel and totally crashed. So I definitely do not recommend leaving those on if you are not flying with ATC. So to clear that, same thing, click under it, and then click right next to that there. That's going to clear it. You can see runway 24 left right there. That's it. This is going to be your go around, and that's pretty much that. So do not activate that yet, because actually it doesn't really matter. You can, but I do not recommend it, and I'm just going to be saying what I normally do, and I do not activate it at this point in time. What I am going to do is click init ref right there. So chances are, if your IRS is not aligned, which it is, so that's a little bit strange. Yep, there we go. Of course, it aligns literally right when I said that, because if it is not aligned, it will bring you to, where is it? Like over here. It will bring you to this page right here. But if that's the case, then you're just going to click Index Performance. But if it is aligned and you're on the legs page, you can just go ahead and click that right there. Now, with this, in the Zibbo 737-800, you can click right there. It's not going to do anything now because I don't have anything, and that is a little bit more realistic, a great feature in the IXEG versus the Zibbo. But in the Zibbo, once again, you can just click there, and that's going to fill in this guy and this guy right here. Your planned fuel, this guy will already be filled in depending on how much fuel you loaded. But yeah, so in the IXEG, once again, you need to auto fill this in, and if you do this right here, then it's going to also fill in the ground weight and stuff like that. So we're going to just go over to the side once again, ground services, and you're going to see we have right here, zero fuel weight is 37.39. So we're going to go ahead and type in 37.39 right there, enter that there, and it's going to load that too. Reserve fuel will be found on your flight plan, and that is, it's going to be, if you're using SimBrief, it'll say like FINRES, FINRES, and then that's what you're going to want to go off of. So we're just going to go ahead and say there is two. I feel like it usually ranges from like maybe 0.5 to like up to like 6. I don't know, don't quote me on that, but that is just what I have seen. So we're going to do something a little bit lower than halfway and do 2. Insert that right there, and you can also do like 2.7, things like that. Your cost index, once again, will be found in your flight plan. Once again, if you're using SimBrief, it will be found next to the top page, next to what says CI cost index. Right there, we'll just say it's 36. A little bit more of cost index is a little bit more about cost indexes will be found on my previous FMC tutorial. Also, you can go ahead and look them up, do the whole 9 yards like that. But let's just say 36 is our cost index for today. Now, cruising altitude, it will usually give you a recommended cruising altitude, which is what ATC will usually advise to you, but you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Let's just say we're flying at 38,000 feet right there. So you have two ways of filling this in. You could do 38000 like that, where it's actually that, and it will go in there perfectly fine. Or you could do 380 and put that in. That will be totally fine as well. Now, that's where it gets a little bit confusing. So I thought this was for 380 feet. So when I did that, I thought that it was, you know, whatever. But I thought that was like 3,800 feet. But it's not. This is 38,000 feet. This is 3,800 feet. And I believe that is like 300 feet or something like that. But we're going to be flying, once again, at like 38,000 feet. So we're going to do 380. This is what I normally do because it is like 2 seconds quicker. Put that, what? Okay, 2K, 37. Oh, okay, so that's your altitude ceiling, I guess, for this plane. I did not know that. So we'll just say 36,000 feet, 360, and put that in right there. Now, your cruising wind will once again be found in your flight plan, but we're just going to make one up for today. So we're just going to say 236 at, you make sure you have that there, at, let's just say 92, like that. You're going to be able to put that in right there. And that is your cruising wind, once again found next to like the TOC, top of climb section of your flight plan. Now, once you have done that, you're going to want to put in your ISOL deviation, which will also again be in your flight plan. We'll just say it's 3 degrees for Celsius right there. And that's it. Now, your transition altitude will vary depending on what country you're in. In the United States, it's 18,000 feet. I believe in like Europe and places like that, it's like 6,000. I don't know, you can go ahead and look that up or find it on some airplane website or something like that. But that's your performance initialization page pretty much done. Now, you don't have to write, you can, if you want, write 7.6, insert it right there, but you do not need to, and I never do, because that usually screws up my flight plan, and it usually makes X-Plane crash, so I have refrained from that. Next, we're going to go on to the N1 limit page right there. You can also, once again, write 14 right there and insert it right there, but I'm not gonna, because that disables me from being able to put in my V speeds, which I never like. That's in the Zibbo at least, but I'm not gonna test it here. If you want to test it on your own time, write 14 / whatever, then, and the V speeds work, definitely let me know, because I would like to make that a thing in my flight plans. So with that, I'm not gonna do anything there. And this doesn't really mean anything to me in my vocabulary for airplanes. I've never really found that useful. So your D rating, right there. That's basically, so if you do something like that, it's going to be a slower like engine takeoff thing, so it's not going to be as powerful. That saves engine life and a little bit of fuel. But if you're on a shorter runway, I definitely recommend going at full power. A little longer runway, definitely something like this to save fuel and engine life. We're just going to put this on this because runway 16 center is medium sized runway. Moving to takeoff right there, you can insert whatever flaps you want. Average takeoff flaps for 737-800 and I believe 900 as well is flaps 5 degrees. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that like that. CG in the Zibbo, you can go ahead and click that and that will appear because this and the trim will not be there. So yeah, but that's that, and chances are it will already be there in the Zibbo. So next you're gonna want to go ahead and see. So it says 3.4 for the trim. Now you're gonna want to come down to your trim wheel right there and find 3.4. So I have a button set, but otherwise you can drag it like that. This is probably a little bit quicker. So we're just going to set 3.4 right about where 3.4 is, and that's the trim right there. Now you're going to want to confirm your V speeds by clicking next to each one of those. QRH off. You're going to be able to set your own V speeds, but I definitely like having the opportunity to enter stuff that is already there. It makes my life so much easier. But with that, we're just going to leave that on. I do not do anything with the takeoff reference page, and yeah, once we go back to the legs page right there, we're gonna go ahead and hit activate. But before we do, you're just want to see there's very few altitude restrictions. The rest is just zeros and stuff like that. But once you click activate and execute, that's all gonna fill in there. It's gonna give us our cruising altitude somewhere. It should be right there. So something went wrong, but it should normally work. But with that, that's basically the FMC in a nutshell. I did go over by like 2.5 minutes. Whoops, but that's fine. Whatever, so that's it there, and you're going to see that you have the flight plan going right there, and everything is basically set up there. So with that, that's the tutorial. Alright, you guys, and with that, that is the FMC tutorial complete. I hope for whoever requested this, I forgot their username. Otherwise, I would be giving them a shout out right now. I hope it was helpful to them and to anybody else who is wondering how to program the FMC in pretty simple terms for the IXEG 737-300 and also Zibbo 737-800 and 737-900. All that, I hope that everybody could find something useful out of this. I really do apologize for any mumbling. I will try to, cut down on time and whatnot like that for future tutorials, but I guess there is just no way to make a short FMC tutorial unless you are really just going over it super quick. But with that, that's the tutorial complete. If you did like the video and found something useful, definitely hit that like button down below. Also subscribe if you are new. We are super close to 500 subscribers, well, like 50 subscribers away from 500. That is such a big milestone for me. I might make a special for that, but if not, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Hit that bell icon so you get notifications every time I post a brand new video. Subscribe, like, and I will see you guys very soon in my next